Yo, back with another review, man. I got the Air Jordan 3s, Game Royal. One of my homeboys got these, man, and he ended up getting got. So, gonna do the review on them, see if you can figure out which one of these is real, which one of these is fake. To be honest, I know I did a lot of reviews, man. I check a lot of people's shoes. I don't really post everything that I do, but, man, this is probably like the best fake I've ever seen. And that's like the worst shit you could probably ever say. But, yeah, we're gonna get into it, man. I've still found some things, man. Like a lot of the stuff that I pick out, man, is detail. I really pay attention to detail. You gotta pay attention to detail. These videos that I make, they're not like other sneaker reviews. Like I want you to understand that it's the detail of any shoe that comes from a Nike or somebody who does this. Like not a fake company, because they will mess up. I'm not saying Nike doesn't mess up, but it won't be the things that I'll help you pick out. So let's get into the review. I'm hungover. Let's do it. All right, man, here they are. The Game Royal or Royal Air Jordan 3s. Can you determine which one is real, which one is fake? This one actually even came with the authentication tag on it. You know, y'all, what y'all think? Let me know. All right, so surprisingly, the ones with the authentic tag that have been tagged by an authenticator somewhere in the world marked it authentic, and it's not. These are not the authentic pair, even though they look fabulous, which is fucked up. But I mean, hey, that's the fake shoe. I'm about to get into the details, into the reviews, and we're gonna go over it. I'm gonna let y'all know what I picked out and what I found. Let's do it. All right, so I'm gonna get into the box. Usually I do, all the detail, but man, these boxes with the 3s have been out so long that everything is like perfect. Like it's really not even hard to determine like the difference between the two. But the authentic is on the left, the fake box is on the right. One thing I did notice is that the elephant print is just a lot lighter. Let me see if I can like zoom in on this. It's like a lot lighter versus the pair on the right, which are the fakes. It's just like a little bit lighter. I know it's hard to see with this sunlight, but I mean, it's just, it ain't something that you gonna just really notice unless you got the box right next to you. And what's so crazy is you see this little red mark that's on this box. It's the exact same little red mark that's on that box. Ain't that crazy? It's like the shoe came from the same person. All right, man, let's get into these kicks. The authentics are on your left, the fakes are on your right. I am going to be choosing the left shoe this time from each one to do the review on. And we're going to see if you can distinguish the two just by looking at it yourself. Let's get into it. All right, just giving you an overhead shot of both shoes. The authentics are on the left, the fakes are on the right. And one thing, man, I always look for when I look at 3s is always the elephant print. It's the first thing I go to, which is actually this right here. For a lot of y'all don't know, that's the elephant print. And if you look at the shoe on the left, which is from Nike, it's so much more detail, like an actual print, versus how this is. It's just like straight out. Like those are just like, somebody just slapped some lines on them and just threw them straight out. Versus looking at this, it's actual like structure and detail to the actual elephant print. Like if you look at it, it's so much more detail in this versus how nice and smooth this is. You see, like it's just no detail really. Like it's not like an actual print. I mean, I know it looks the same, but I'm just telling you the difference between the actual one and the fake one. Another thing I noticed is the back. I'll show you this. The authentics are on the left, the fakes are on the right. Just how wide this part is versus how slim this is. It's like actual, like a peak. It goes up to a peak versus this one is more round. Another thing I noticed, this is actually longer than what this one is. I mean, I know it's hard to pick out these things if you ain't got a shoe next to it, but it's just things to take. Like, you can take another one of your 3s. If you have another retro 3 that you got from the actual store and you're about to go somewhere and meet with a person, you compare these things. If the shoes are real, they shouldn't have nothing to hide. Another thing I noticed was the stitching on the back. You see how uneven that is? I mean, yeah, Nike messes up, but they'll mess up your stitching. I don't think they'll put the leather's so significantly higher than the other. Like you might get a mess up on your stitching because this from Nike, it's perfect. Look how nice and neat that looks compared to how sloppy this looks. And then this is just so easy to pull down. This one's actually kind of harder to pull down. Like, and it pops up. This is like just so flimsy. And then, I mean, you can see here it's higher versus than it is here. Still the print, it's like not as much. It's not as much print here versus like how it is here. Focus on that for you. And it's wider too. Like the authentic shoe is just wider. Everybody knows the threes are fat. They shouldn't be this small, like, you know, this structure small. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the inside of the shoe and the insole. The authentics are on the left, your fakes are on the right. This is the fake insole. If you look at the material, it's actually not bad. It looks exactly like how the threes usually are that aren't retro, like, you know, original OGs. That's how it feels on the inside. It's real smooth and fluffy. Same thing here, no difference. What I did notice was underneath them. If you look underneath, the authentics are on the left, your fakes on the right. How much more detail this is versus how nice and smooth this is on the authentics. It's like nice and smooth. The letters are, they pop out, but it's not as much. And then you got these, which are like super transparent versus how these are. I don't know if these letters are supposed to mean anything with the C at the end of it. I just know that in the authentic, I'm gonna look for this. You know, I don't know if it ain't got that. You know, hey, I might pass. But yeah, that's the insoles. This one is just so much softer too. In the authentics. The inside of the shoe, one thing I noticed, the authentics are on the left. These lines that are inside the shoe, they're exactly the same, but the lines are so much more neat in the authentic versus how they are in the fakes. Like, you see how those lines don't really, like, you know, it's just uneven versus these lines, they're like super straight, parallel and horizontal. They're both straight on the inside of this shoe. On the left, your fakes are on the right. You see how it just kind of, let me see, like that way it goes down, and then this line isn't straight, it's just kind of like wiggling up, versus on this one, straight up and down, straight that way. All right, so we're gonna get into this inside of the shoe. Your authentics are at the top, your fakes are at the bottom, man. Like I said, I always pay attention to detail. Like I said, this could be a Nike error, but I don't know. I just usually don't see it, like, you know, on this many areas of both shoes. You know, they not gonna mess up both shoes. It'll be like some glue or something. But right here, where your laces go, your lace locks go, if you look, this gray stitching area right here is like so nice and neat and fine, and it almost goes all the way to where your second hole set goes. For your laces, it's almost all the way to the end right here if you look at it. But look how nice and neat it is. And then this right here, it lines up perfectly because the leather is folded in and stitched together. Versus if you look on the fakes, you see here, it's kind of like sloppy. Like, look how sloppy that stitching is, that gray stitching. And it doesn't go all the way to where your second set of holes are. And then this here is kind of thrown off. This set of leather is higher than this set. All right, man, last but not least, the soles. If you look at the ones at the top, which are the authentics, the fakes are at the bottom. They are significantly lighter than the ones at the bottom. The color is definitely a big difference. One thing, man, this guy pointed out to me that I met a long time ago. One thing that he pointed out to me that they always mess up on with this Jordan sign at the bottom, where it reads Jordan. If you get close and you look at in between each letter, like where the next letter begins, it's smoother. Like look between the A and the N. You see how the points are? They're pointy, but they're smooth. Versus the ones on the fakes, they're like a real point. Like if you look, it's like a real point right there. Like it's every one of them. Like in between the N too, it's like they come to a fine point. Versus on the authentics, it's a smooth
finish. It's not like, I mean, it's pointy, but it's a smooth finish. Like the in between that and in between here, it's a smooth point. It's not so sharp like how it is between the A and the N. It's like so pointy. It's like one thing. It's like so smooth on the threes, and that's on all the authentic threes, no matter what it is. 88 free throw line, a new one. It don't matter. Even though the bottom is translucent, that the inside of the detail is still smooth. So make sure y'all catch that. And of course, the color. Color is just totally different. Oh yeah, that concludes the video, man. I hope this helps y'all out. If it didn't, man, y'all drop a comment below. Let me know what I could have done better, man, or what you might call that I missed. It's a lot of stuff that I miss, man, sometimes in videos, and people hit me up about it, and I'll go through and I'll try to make sure I point out in the next video. The link to my Instagram and to my Snapchat will be in the bio below, as well as my homeboys, man. He got this brand, so I'm gonna put his link down there too, man. Y'all go check it out. If you need anything, man, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Snap. I do legit checks, man. Holla at me. Till the next video.